Walter Payton. Because you're talking about a guy that not only could run the football at a high level, but he could catch the ball out of the backfield, and he was awesome at blocking out of the backfield. So he did everything that you'd want a back to do.
Let me ask you a question. Would today's quarterbacks, Brady, Rodgers, people like that, under the rules back then where you could actually touch and hit quarterbacks, would they be as successful back then as they are today?
Well, I mean, Tom's played so long, he actually did play back then.
Well, I'm talking, that was where the defensive linemen could actually do hand slaps and things like that, head slaps that they can't do now. I don't know.
I think they would. I think durability would be a question, but you can't.
It's a great
accuracy is accuracy.
It's a great discussion. All right, it's time for news.
Okay, so Jeff Bezos and Jay-Z are reportedly looking into buying the Washington Commanders. So this report comes just days after it was confirmed that Daniel Snyder had hired Bank of America to help assist him in the possible sale of the franchise. And it's expected to sell for over $5 billion. So those two combined could easily handle that. They'd be just fine.
Oh, yes.
Yes, for sure. Miles Bridges was facing charges after his girlfriend said that he attacked her in front of their two children. She posted photos online. She claimed that he choked her, broke her nose, gave her a concussion. Well, on Thursday, Bridges pleaded no contest to a felony domestic violence charge. He was sentenced to 3 years of probation, but will avoid some jail time as part of a plea deal that he took with prosecutors. But during this probation period, he does have to take a year-long domestic violence class. He also has to take a year-long parenting class. He's got to take weekly drug tests. He has to complete 100 hours of community service. And then he's also going to face a fine. He cannot own guns or ammunition or dangerous weapons, and he cannot have any contact with the victim. Plus, he is currently a restricted free agent, so if he does get signed, he would face potential suspension from the NBA under the league's domestic violence policies.
I have a feeling not too many teams are going to be going after him right now.
No.
This story is pretty interesting. Las Vegas Raiders player Blake Martinez sold one of the rarest Pokemon cards in existence over the weekend for more than $670,000. So this card was a Pokemon Illustrator Pikachu card from 1998 and is now the second most expensive Pokemon card ever sold. The most expensive Pokemon card sold for $5.7 million, and it was bought by Logan Paul. So, pretty cool, though.
That's awesome.
I mean, it sounds like he has been a massive Pokemon fan ever since he was about 6 years old. He's 28 now, and he says he's basically played every Pokemon game there is to play. He collects the cards, and
I don't understand the attraction to Pokemon, but it's obviously it's huge. And could you imagine putting this on the market and all of a sudden it fetches $650,000?
And it sounds like he didn't know exactly what he was going to get for it when he put it up. I mean, obviously he knew he would get a decent amount of money for it because it is a rare card. But good for him, yeah. Pokemon to me, it's over my head. And it happened Pokemon started after. I was already too old to even understand.
Yeah.
I thought it just started as a cartoon. I thought it was just a show, and then it turned into all of this other.
Was Pokemon? What was the trend where people were walking around the streets trying to find?
That was Pokemon Go.
That was Pokemon
Yeah.
Go. Okay, I mean that was effed up, man. That was crazy. People were walking around it's what the heck's going on here?
Yeah.
I know. I bet people still play for sure. Okay, you guys, if you don't shop at Aldi for your groceries, you may want to start shopping there this holiday season because just a few days ago, on November 2nd, they started their Thanksgiving Price Rewind program. Because as you know, things are going to be costing way more money this year, and the price of your turkey is going up for Thanksgiving. So they're actually going to be matching 2019 prices, and they're going to be offering discounts of up to 30% on items, including Thanksgiving appetizers, sides, desserts, beverages, everything you're going to need for your big Thanksgiving Day spread. So
heading there now.
Thank you very much, Heather. Hey, coming up next, our picks. 97.1 The Ticket.
Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime.
4 jobs.
It's wicked awesome.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you might be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charging not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com/sports, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com/sports. That's getrefunds.com/sports.
Venture X from Capital One is the travel card for people always asking,
Where next?
We're 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy with Venture X. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub. Cough relieving is believing.
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Mike Papura of National Benefit Plans. For affordable health insurance, call 877-734-2200.
The latest on the NBA, the NHL, the NFL, and the MLB on the Boston Balls Podcast with Pat Caputo. Get it on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's time for the award-winning picks. I don't know what awards we win, but we had a lot of fun doing it. Last week, the Gov 4-1. Greg and myself were 3-2. John was 2-3. So the standings looks like this after 9 weeks. Greg in first place by 3 games at 25-20. Everybody else under 500. John and Gov both at 22-23. I'm at 20-25. We begin with college football, and we'll start under the lights, South Bend, Indiana, where the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are taking on the dastardly Clemson Tigers. Clemson, a 3.5-point favorite on the road. Notre Dame is 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 against the ACC. They're also 13-2-1 at home against the ACC. I think it's going to be a close game. Give me Notre Dame and the points. John.
You know what? Notre Dame has had some bad losses this year. There's no question about it. Starting off 0-2, the Thundering Herd, Stanford. I mean, they've been tough, but they've also had some pretty decent wins. Number 16, BYU at home. On the road, number 16, Syracuse. Those are both pretty good wins. And Clemson has struggled at times. Same common opponent, Syracuse at home. Struggled with them, should not have. Struggled on the road against Florida State, Wake Forest. I could go right down the list. I don't believe or trust in Clemson's offense. I think their defense is pretty good, but Notre Dame's offense is starting to play better. Give me the Fighting Irish at home.
Gov.
I think this spread's awfully low, considering what the matchup is here, and there's a ton of respect being given to Notre Dame at home and at night probably, but Notre Dame's lost 2 home games this year to 2 teams that aren't very good in my mind. So the other thing here, Dabo is 20-5 straight up off a bye, so he wins 80% of his games off a bye. I know that doesn't mean he covers here. I think Clemson wins this game by touchdown. Notre Dame, they need mistakes. They need their defense to do something, or they need to block punts. They lead the country in block punts, by the way. There's going to be a little bit of a wind factor in this game, but I think Clemson shows why it's ranked, where they're ranked. They win this game by at least a touchdown.
Greg Hargrave.
I think people are going back to that 2020 game and going back that down memory lane a little bit too much. Clemson's going to do what they do best. Go into a hostile environment, rip your heart out, and bury you in your own backyard. Give me Clemson.
That's a bit aggressive.
Ooh, wow. All right.
Rip your heart out.
The game of the day. Tennessee going to Georgia at Athens, between the hedges. Georgia, 8.5-point favorite. John Jansen, what's going to happen?
Tennessee may have the Heisman Trophy winner in Hendon Hooker, but they allow 300 yards a game through the air. They've got a major flaw, and that is defensively. Georgia, they're going to be playing at home. They have big game experience, and their defense is still top-notch. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs at home. I believe that they close this thing out, and I think I'm going to be rooting for Tennessee, but I think Georgia wins this one at home.
Go!
You know, I watched a lot of the Bama-Tennessee game. It was a great game. Tennessee, it was a great day for that program. They're back. It's all cool and fine and dandy. But you know what? Alabama committed 17 penalties in that game. And I don't see Georgia doing that. I know, John, you dismissed this, the fact that Georgia was number 3 in the initial rankings. Kirby Smart probably held an emergency meeting Tuesday night and said, look, guys, look what everybody thinks of you. Look who's coming in here, the number 1 team. Let's get it on. And Georgia Jimmy, our boss, said that does matter, actually. Johnny disagreed with you, even though he wouldn't say it to your face. And by the way, Tennessee...
Did he play college football?
He could have, actually.
That's not the question. Did he?
No. Ooh, you did say, I played the game. I know. That card. By the way, Tennessee is 7-1 against the spread this year. Well, do teams go 10-2, 11-1 against the spread? No, they don't. Georgia, and by the way, this spread is the same as the Michigan game last year, the playoff game. I'm taking Georgia. I think they win by a couple touchdowns easily.
So we ended up with the same outcome.
Yes.
Greg, Tennessee's got a Taco Bell offense. They're going to present some problems for you on the back end. And when we saw Georgia last year, what they struggled with was a healthy Alabama with their receivers, in particular Jameson Williams, being able to stretch the defense and get behind their secondary. I think Tennessee has
both your ring and Papa Wayne's ring are twins.
Ooh, I thought everything they were handing out was in McDonald's bags.
Tennessee 7-1 against the spread, like Gov mentioned. The Bulldogs are 4-4. Look, Tennessee has the number 1 offense in the country. Georgia has the number 4 defense. Tennessee has the number 2 passing offense. Georgia.
Or does it smell like Nana Joe's face?
Georgia's 13 passing defense. Offense versus defense, home versus away. Georgia wins the game, but Tennessee keeps it close. I see a game like, 30-24, something like that.
52-49.
Oh, you're screwed, Greg. You just had a score.
Oh, boy. All right. Next on the docket is in Piscataway, New Jersey, where John Jansen will be. Ladies and gentlemen, the Wolverines of the University of Michigan, favored by 25 and a hook. Go.
Why did we go out of order?
I'm just reading. Right? I don't know that either.
The pick sheet is different from...
Okay, it's all good. Fine. Yeah. All right. 25 and a half is a lot. But Rutgers, just offensively, they're not good at all. They've scored 67 points in Big Ten play. Michigan has a defense. I expect Michigan to win this game by 4 touchdowns. I'll take Michigan.
Greg, I have no meaningful analysis of this game given Michigan.
Michigan 5-3 against the spread. The Scarlet Knights are 4-4. Michigan, 3rd-ranked defense in the country, as you know. Rutgers, the 120th ranked offense. Rutgers, 0-7-1 against the spread against teams with a winning record. I'm going to lay the points. Give me the Wolverines. John.
Yeah, I'm going Michigan as well. I know that shocks everyone.
Blue Wall Radio.
Yeah, but when you look at Rutgers, especially what they did against Minnesota, they could not stop the run. It's going to be the same thing for Michigan. They're going to continue to add on points, and Michigan is going to, it won't mean much because it is Rutgers. They're going to be a little bit more creative in the red zone, turn those trips into the red zone into touchdowns, and that gets you over this spread.
All right. Next, Champaign, Illinois, ladies and gentlemen. The Michigan State Spartans. Who knows what kind of mental fortitude they're going to have going into that game. They are getting 17.5 points. Greg Hargrave.
This game is the fourth and last college game we put on because I think this is the bigger game. You've got Michigan State, so it's a smaller spread, and against the best team from Big Ten West, it's Illinois. Astronaut meme, always have been. Illini.
Illinois is 6-2 against the spread. They've given up over 14 points just once. Michigan State 0-5 on the road against the spread, 0-5 against teams with a winning record. It all points to Illinois, but for some strange reason, I think the Spartans are going to make it like a 2-touchdown game and cover the spread. Give me the Spartans.
No, Spartans are in disarray. It is going to be very difficult. You know, they've lost players, but they've lost just it's a tough week. We all know it's been a tough week. Illinois is still fighting for respect. I've been on the Brett Bielema bandwagon since he arrived in Champaign-Urbana. I've been on it all over it this year. I think Illinois wants to go out there and make a statement. They've got Chase Brown, the leading rusher in the country. But he's only got 5 touchdowns, which I think is kind of odd. However, I think they go out there and they do their job at home. They get a win because they want everything building up for that trip to Ann Arbor.
Go.
I agree with a lot of that. Doesn't mean they're going to cover 17.5. They don't score.
Right.
And 17.5 points is a ton to lay with a team that doesn't score 30 points very often. I think you're going to find out about Mel Tucker this week. So, you know, he can challenge his team to get ready. That even though he's, you know, had to deal with a lot of distractions, that's still behind the scenes. You know, he's coaching them up. A lot of pride here. And in the end, I just can't lay 17.5 points. I can't give that to Illinois. I can't. Give me Michigan State.
All right, and finally, we go to the National Football League. And one of the reasons, besides the good college games, there is really no good NFL games on the slate. Maybe Kansas City, Tennessee, but that's about it. So we'll just do our beloved Honolulu Blue and Silver hosting the dreaded Cheeseheads at Ford Field. The Lions are favored by 3.5 points. Both teams have losing records against the spread this season. The Lions 3-4, the Packers 3-5. However, if my math is correct, I believe the Lions have covered the last 5 games against Green Bay at Ford Field, if not more. So I'm going to take a chance. Take the Lions with the points. John.
I said the last time. Until proven wrong, I am not picking the Lions, and I don't really care what the reasons are because I've tried and I've tried and I've tried and I've tried to believe.
But you can't get no satisfaction.
No satisfaction. Aaron Rodgers was limited in practice. He doesn't have to practice. He can come into Ford Field and play extremely well.
Rumble strips.
Even though they are banged up at receiver, they are running the ball better. Their defense is not playing up to expectations, but they're still pretty damn good. I think Rashawn Gary comes in here and wreaks havoc. Give me the Packers.
Go.
You mentioned their defense. They're 8th in yards per game allowed, the Packers. They've never given up more than 27 in a game this year, so that's going to test that vaunted Lions, at least home offense most of the time. I got a feeling this is where the Packers get right, and they win by multiple touchdowns. I will take the Pack.
Mr. Packer himself, Greg Hargrave.
The Lions haven't scored a second half point in the last 3 games. They haven't covered the last 4 spreads. Everyone's downing the lines. Guys. It's the perfect time to take the lines when everybody's done with them. Give me the Leos.
All right, then those are the picks. 97.1, the ticket.
Hey, if you've been feeling self-conscious about your hair loss, I'm here to tell you that there is a solution. Michigan's #1 hair restoration specialist, Dr. Berkowitz from Michigan Hair Restoration, can not only restore your hair, but also your confidence. And right now, he's accepting in-person and virtual consultations. Now, Dr. B has actually been meeting with a lot of patients who have experienced something called COVID hair loss. Some patients are actually losing almost half of their hair after they recover, and he's been able to help them improve their hair loss. Plus, at Michigan Hair Restoration, not only can they regrow hair where you want it, but they can also remove hair that you don't want. They have the only hair removal laser in Michigan with all 3 wavelengths in one handpiece. So call today and make sure you mention 97.1 the ticket, and you'll save $1,000 when you purchase 1,500 grafts or more, and you're going to receive 0% financing on your hair restoration procedure. For more information or to schedule an in-person or virtual consult, go to MichiganHairRestoration.com today.
97.1 the ticket. Traffic.
From the WWG AM 950 Traffic Center, typical work zone slowdowns on the drive this morning. One accident on the right shoulder, 75 northbound at Mack Avenue. Weekend construction will include the closure of 75 northbound from 696 to 14 Mile, 9 tonight through Monday morning. 75 southbound from Square Lake Road to 696, closing 9 tonight until Sunday morning. Then one lane will open until 5 a.m. on Monday. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Unparalleled insight and opinions for all of the weekend NFL action. Kick off with Boomer and Valenti, Sunday mornings at 9 on 97.1 The Ticket.
This is Boomer Esiason with the Odyssey Sports Bet. Want to see a matchup of 2 quarterbacks under intense pressure this weekend? Watch Vegas and Jacksonville and focus on Derek Carr coming off an embarrassing, those are his words, not mine, shutout in New Orleans and mistake-prone Trevor Lawrence. Can't blame Urban Meyer for this year's problems. Elsewhere, the Jets Patriots at Wilson and no larger prayer against Buffalo. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Buying a home? Rocket Mortgage will cover 1% of your rate for the first year at no cost to you, saving you hundreds, even thousands with Inflation Buster. For example, if you lock a 7% rate today, you'll only pay 6% for a year. That means more road trips, more date nights, more front row seats. Every month for a year. And your rate is secured for 30 years. Plus, if rates drop within 3 years of your home purchase, you get exclusive savings when you refinance with Rate Drop Advantage. Or home upgrades, or rainy-day funds. More cash in your pocket. Save when you buy today and refinance tomorrow. Call 8337-ROCKET today or visit inflationbuster.com to start saving. That's 8337-ROCKET or go to inflationbuster.com.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a theory. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network. Peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices. And the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether you're a small business is starting or growing, technology solutions that move you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get internet security and voice for just $40 per month for 12 months when you add mobile. Plus, get free installation and Earth Party get a $500 video card with qualifying pay contract. That's 11/6/2022. Restrictions apply. Requires email and auto pay. New Comcast Business 250 megabit per second internet. Security Edge and one voice line customers only. 2-year agreement required. Equipment taxes and other fees and subject to change. Must add mobile 90 days from internet install and keep all services for mobile discount. Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most RootMetrics 5G data reliability wins in 1H 2022. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
Breaking news on 97.1 The Ticket is presented by BetQL. Smarter bets start with BetQL. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today. The latest news and information on the Big Ten on the 5 Star Zone podcast with Rico Baird. Get it on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
last night, Game 5 of the World Series. The bad guys won. Houston Astros over the Phillies 3-2. Justin Verlander, I know he still has tons of fans here in town. Gets his first ever World Series win. 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 walks, 94 pitches. They pitched great, but he battled. It was a lot of battles with a lot of guys, especially at one with Castellanos.
Yeah.
Great at bat. It was an intense baseball game. It was a pressure-packed game, especially if you had a rooting interest like I did. But as opposed to games 2, 3, and 4, which were like blowouts, this was very compelling. He had a great catch in the 9th inning by Chas McCormick of the Astros. It just was it's what playoff baseball was about last night. And unfortunately for me, the Phillies lost. So they go to Houston for Game 6 and hopefully Game 7 Saturday and Sunday. Now, the teams that have won Game 5 when the series have been tied at 2 have won 31 of the 47 World Series in that situation.
So it doesn't look good for the Phillies.
No, it does not.
Looks good for Mattress Mac.
It does. It looks really good for Mattress Mac.
There's some agonizing pictures.
Yes.
When they were tied up at 2-all.
Mm-hmm.
He's set to win what, $75 million?
Yeah, it was weird because I was seeing some of the videos from his trip to Philadelphia. And there was he even tweeted out, I understand how this city got this name, the city of brotherly love. They showed a video of people asking for his autograph and things like that.
Yeah.
Then there were the others.
The others.
Like cursing him out.
The unwashed.
The unwashed.
Is that the definition?
Portion of the Philadelphia sports fan, yeah.
That's what Bob was referring to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, Philadelphia versus Houston last night, Thursday Night Football.